13th. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. By Safeco Insurance. Find a local agent at safeco.com. Do more. By Primera Blue Cross, your hometown health plan for 84 years. And by your local Ford stores. I don't know if you can ask for a better Sunday weather day than this. Big crowd streaming into Safeco Field as the Mariners wrap up this series against the Chicago White Sox and finish up this homestand before heading off to Washington, Boston, and Colorado. Little League Day. Families getting a chance to parade around the ball field, and they're having a whole lot of fun, and it started a while ago. Chris Heston going to get the start today. Short rest coming up from Tacoma. Last time we saw him was in April in a relief role in Detroit. Well, you know where these little guys' sentiments lie? It's with the Mariners, who could use a win here today to go to 21-24 and get a split in this series. We got first pitch straight ahead as the Mariners wrap it up against the White Sox. What better way to spend a sunny Sunday than here at Safeco Field in Seattle. Glorious weather day as the Mariners wrap it up against the Chicago White Sox. As we welcome you to Mariner Baseball. Dave Sims, Mike Flowers, Root Sports crew. Good to have you with us. Breeze blowing in from left field. The Mariners going to their 11th starter of this season. This is game number 45, and it's been an injury-plagued season. Chris Heston will be called on to give some innings today. Here's the lineup that he'll face this afternoon.
And we'll go right to the cleanup hitter, Avisel Garcia. You can see he's hitting .357 overall, but in last night's game, 4 for 5, a couple of home runs, 2 doubles, and 6 RBIs. You have to be really careful with him. Matt Davidson hitting 8th. He had a home run last night, his 8th on the year, and Kevin Smith will round out the 9 for the White Sox. And for Heston, this will be his second appearance. Had a couple of innings earlier this year. As Dave mentioned, will be the 11th starter for the Mariners when you consider they had 13 starters in all of last year, which was a lot. They've really been hurt as far as starting rotation goes. Look at the defense behind him. Gerard Dyson will be in center field. Ben Gamel out and right. Taylor Motter, the second baseman. Daniel Vogelback, just recalled today, he will get the start at first base, and Tuffy will do the catching.
Well, here we go. Chris Heston, last time we saw him was back in April 25th at Detroit. Had a tough afternoon. 2 innings of relief of Felix Hernandez. First pitch swung on and past Vogelback, second baseman right there. Mater. Heston does the job, and we've got one out. Lurie Garcia put it in play.
That is not as easy as it looked. Taylor Mater getting the start at second base. On the ground ball, he gets past Vogelback at first and took his time. Let Heston get closer to first base. Made a good throw inside part of the bag. Heston getting off the mound in great shape.
Vogelback called up today. Danny Valencia, wrist issue. And here is Melky Cabrera. A lot of big numbers put up by the White Sox last night. 16 runs on 19 hits. Melky went 2 for 6 with 2 runs batted in. Heston, when we saw him in Detroit, 2 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, all earned, a walk and a strikeout. 49 pitches, 27 for strikes. Quick worker. 0-1 pitch. Umpires today. Jerry Davis has balls and strikes. Crew chief. Pat Hoberg at first, Rob Drake at second, and Mark Wegner at third.
Chris Heston has all the pitches. Again, he's going to try to sink his fastball. Pretty good two-seamer, 87 to 90 miles an hour. Slider, curve, changeup to go with it.
At Tacoma, 2-1 record, a 3.41 ERA. He beat El Paso and Sacramento, lost at Las Vegas. 6 games, 31 2/3 innings, 26 hits, 12 runs all earned. Gave up a couple homers.
I think it'll be interesting to watch him today. He pitched in Wednesday's games, just 3 days of rest for him. Short rest, and a sinker baller, sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes he'll be able to get the ball to sink a little bit more and feel strong. Sometimes the ball will straighten out on him, so hopefully this will help him today.
I've heard that a lot, right?
Yeah.
Tired arm for those kind of guys. And that's when they usually put up a big performance. He walks Cabrera. 1 out. Give you an idea how good last night was for the White Sox. Season highs in hits, homers, and runs. Try to shut them down here today. 69 degrees, wind out of the southwest at 5, blowing across the field left to right. Jose Abreu 2 for 5 in last night's ball game. First inning, RBI double. Hear the wind going through our microphones here. Well inside. 2-0.
The good news for the Mariners is the bullpen has been rested. They have tomorrow off, so Scott Service can go to the pen early if he needs to. Dylan Overton pitching in 4 innings in a third last night in relief to save the bullpen. Mike Freeman also pitched an inning.
Big road trip coming up. Washington, Boston, and Colorado. Scott Service in his media session today talked about sometimes you look at the big picture, it can be overwhelming. My job is keep guys loose, have fun, take it a day at a time. I know I tell you guys that every day, but that's how we have to do it. There's the wind picking up over the last couple of minutes. And a 4-pitch walk to Abreu. Back-to-back walks, not a good sign with this guy coming to the plate. It's going to be Avisail Garcia. He is the leading hitter in the American League coming off his performance last night. 4 for 5, 3 runs scored, knocked in 6, hit 2 home runs. So he jumps to the top of the American League at 357, ahead of Starlin Castro of the Yankees at 349. This kid's having an all-star first half. 11 categories, he's in the top 10. top 8 actually. Some good news. Robbie Cano will be back on Tuesday in Washington. Look forward to that. That's a big part of the Mariner offense. 10th in slugging in the league. James Paxton might see him May 31. A good sign. He was out tossing today, as was Sashi Iwakuma.
I saw Paxton. He actually was in the bullpen earlier this morning.
Ben Gamble in good position. Red ball moving. Tagging going to third is Melky Cabrera. 2 down. Big out.
It's a big out. Pretty good pitch on the inside corner at the knees. A little bit of an inside out swing. Garcia was beat on the pitch. Lazy fly ball to right.
Runners at the corners, 2 outs. Going to bring up White Sox third baseman Todd Frazier. Of the starters, he's the only one that's previously seen Heston. He's 2 for 4 against him. Couple of hits, 2 runs batted in yesterday for Todd. Heston with a no-hitter under his belt back in 2015 as a member of the Giants against the New York Mets. Inside, 2-0. Todd Frazier, 40 home runs last year, 6th in the American League.
There's now 15 pitches, just 4 strikes.
Heston 6'3", 195, 29 years old, out of Palm Bay, Florida. Played his college ball at East Carolina, and he's behind here 3-0.
Todd Frazier will have the green light.
Takes a strike. Good chance you might see Mike Zunino join the ball club on a road trip. Hit a home run, a 3-run shot last night for Tacoma. And Zunino's already hit 2 home runs at Iowa. So Heston battling back to a full count. Melky on third and Abreu at first. Big pitch here, 3-2 to Frazier. Runner goes, pitch inside, walked him, bases loaded.
Mel Stottlemyre Jr. on his way out to the mound. It looks as if Chris has some really good run on his fastball, maybe too much for him to command right now. He's missing off the plate inside to the righties, away from the lefties. Tough first inning for the Mariners last night, giving up 4 runs, so they were behind quickly yesterday. Certainly don't want to see that happen here. A couple of outs in the inning.
Gallardo right out of the gate walked the first man, and he came around to score.
And there was an error right after that, didn't help.
You know how we were talking earlier this week that if you keep your iPad open almost to the on the hour, somebody DL'd.
Yeah,
Taijuan Walker just was put on a DL by Arizona.
Saw Dallas Keuchel too, went on the disabled list.
Sanchez looks at ball 1. Yolmer Sanchez, switch hitting second baseman. It's a leadoff spot yesterday, went 2 for 5. First inning, hot water. 2-0. First strike. Here base runners. Cabrera, Abreu, and Frazier. 2-1 here to Sanchez. Motter can't get it. Base hit to right. Cabrera scores. Abreu right behind him. Frazier to third. 2-0 White Sox. 2 runs batted in for Sanchez. Gives him 13 on the season.
It's like another fastball in the middle of the plate. Started on the inner half and ran right to the middle.
First inning runs. Again, runners at the corners, this time for the fine young shortstop, Tim Anderson. Anderson 2 for 5 last night. Check swing.
Nobody's there.
And base hit and another run.
That's just poor luck right there. You have your defense set up. Motter, the second baseman, playing up the middle.
Picks up an RBI.
And the check swing was hit just firm enough to where Chris wasn't able to run it down. He tried to get there. Infield hit and an RBI.
3-0. 2 outs. Brings up Matt Davidson 2 for 4. Home run, couple of runs batted in last night's game. It was a 2-run shot, 7th inning. Ball 1. Oh to Davidson. Has got some pop. He's got 8 home runs. As mentioned, homered yesterday. And he went deep. 2-run shot, 7th inning on Thursday. Seager in a word of encouragement. All 3 walks have scored. Pitch. Davidson, the 8th man to the plate here in the first inning. Two-one pitch, and that misses. Ball 3. Kevin Smith, catcher's on deck. 3-1 pitch to Davidson. That runs full.
Obviously a tough inning for Chris Heston so far. Next pitch will be 30 in the inning. 29 pitches, 11 strikes, and difficult because when you're trying to pitch off the edges of the plate, which he needs to do, and you're missing, when you come back, your pitches end up in the middle of the plate.
Runners go. 3-2 pitch. Bleeder. Ben can't get it. Another run scores. Anderson to third. As Sanchez comes home. Another RBI for Davidson. That's his 22nd.
And for Chris, he has to throw a strike, so this pitch again will be in the middle of the plate. Fights it off into right field.
Runners at first and third. 9th man to the plate. Catcher Kevin Smith. It's 0 for 3 in Friday's game. Heston trying to stop the bleeding right here. 2 outs, runners at the corners, 4 runs in. Check swing, might be tough. Heston throws wild. Another run scores. It's 5-0. Be a base hit.
This is just not being able to catch a break. You have 2 swinging bunts, both of them perfectly placed, and not only get base hits but to drive in runs. That is a tough inning. Another check swing. Perfectly placed bunt right down the line.
The RBIs from your 6, 7, 8, 9 guys in the order. And they have batted around.
White Sox were 8 for 13 last night with runners in scoring position. They're already 4 for 5 here in the first inning.
And that took them from last night 240 to 258. And are building on that as we speak. Pitch here. Hammered but foul. Tenth man to the plate here in the first inning.
We're talking about Chris Heston and hoping that they could get 4 or 5 innings out of him today. Again, going on short rest. Already 33 pitches here in the first. Bullpen in this game early today.
1-1 pitch hit foul. Fielded by first base coach Darrell Boston. Ball 2 strikes, 2 outs. 10th man to the plate. Runners at first and second. 5 runs on the board. Ball 2. Another big pitch here at 2-2. Heredia's got to come in. It's going to hang for him. Battles the sun and wins. 5 runs on 4 hits, no errors, 2 left. An inauspicious start. Plenty of time to go though. 5-0 White Sox. Segura, the hit machine, needs to get things going immediately. A 5-0 hole for the Mariners. He's set up shop in the top 10. He's 5th in hitting entering today's game. Here's a look at the rest of the batting order.
Well, the Mariners really need their offense to get going. Heredia hitting .370 against left-handed pitching this year. Kyle Seager in his career against Holland, .279. A couple of home runs for him. Daniel Vogelback just called back. He is in the lineup and he will hit 7th. or Derek Holland. This will be his 9th start of the year. A 3-3 record, 2.7 ERA, and 46 2/3. He has 38 strikeouts. Opponents hitting just 216 against him. Good fastball, 92 miles an hour. Has a slider, curve, and changeup. And a look at the defense. Leury Garcia has been out the last couple of days, back in center field today. Tim Anderson has played well at shortstop. Jose Abreu, the first baseman, and Kevin Smith will do the catching.
Holland, 8 years in Texas. He went 62 and 50 there with a 4.27 ERA. 4-3 record here at Safeco Field. Slash foul by Segura, hitting at 338. For 4 in last night's game. Well, he hit that pitch down and in. Again, we talk about every day. His ability to hit a ball hard is remarkable.
That was a breaking ball. It was a perfect pitch from Holland, right on the inside corner at the knees.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Backed him off. Through the hole, base hit. There's the start the Mariners are looking for.
Base hit. Looks like he was able to get a base hit on his curveball. 79 miles an hour. Middle in. Solid base hit into left field. Good start for the Mariners.
Brings up Guillermo Heredia, 0 for 3 in last night's game. 286, 2 homers, 7 runs batted in. Two for 3 against Holland. 1-1.
Holland doesn't throw as hard as he used to. Fastball today has been 90 miles an hour. He might touch 92 at times.
Ground ball to Anderson. Flip to Sanchez for 1 over to first. A brave double play. White Sox turned 4 double plays in last night's game.
For Holland, changeup right there to get the double play. But we'll take a look at his slider this year. He's behind in the count just 3% of the time. Ahead in the count, he's going to throw it 33% of the time, and you can see why. Opponents hitting 0.40 off of the slider have not had an extra base hit off the slider this year, and the whip percentage almost 40%. So that's been an excellent pitch for him.
Brings up Nelson Cruz. He and Holland teammates in Texas.
I think Holland is a good example, Dave, of something that you and I talk about from time to time with different pitchers. Here's a guy that used to have a plus fastball, would go right at hitters with his fastball, and he's basically reinventing himself and has done well doing it. It's not something that everybody can do, but he looks as if he's making the right strides in that direction, using his breaking ball and changeup a little bit more.
You know from talking to pitching coaches, getting over the ego part of it is the most difficult part.
Yep.
Dude, you don't have 97 anymore.
Well, yeah,
you got to figure something out.
One of the things that can fix that is getting knocked around the yard a few times,
yeah.
And then you have to self-evaluate and look at where you're at. And he looks like he's made the adjustment.
Ellie 0 for 3 last night. 5 hits against Holland, 2 for home runs. Slicing drive, right center field, coming right back to the right fielder Garcia. That'll do it for the Mariners. Double play, big part of that for Holland and the Sox, who lead 5-0. Big early lead for the White Sox here at Safeco. Field time now for a Geico this date in MLB history. You don't have it so bad. 1952, the Brooklyn Dodgers scored a major league record 15 runs in the first inning. 19 consecutive batters reached bases. The Dodgers beat the Reds 19-1. Harold Reese, better known as Pee Wee Reese, he reached base 3 times in the first inning, 2 walks and a single, and scored 3 runs. Man.
That has to be a record, isn't it?
Oh, it is. Oh, it is.
I mean,
good grief. There's Melky Cabrera, second time. Walked and scored in the first. Heston ahead for 0-2.
See if he can settle down. First inning was tough for him, obviously. Had some bad luck, too.
2-3-4, Melky, Jose Abreu, and Avisail Garcia. Ground ball to Motter. Got a fine job filling in for Cano, and 1 out. So the theme right now for the Mariners, fellas, hurry up, get back. Robbie on Tuesday. 31st Paxton, we might see him. We might see Zunino in this upcoming road
hopefully
trip.
Haniger.
And Haniger under it, probably possibly in Boston because he had the setback a couple of days ago. So that would be welcome. Here's Abreu. Jerry was talking about Kuma. Double check my notes, but I believe he said mid-June we could get him back. Be nice to get these fellas back in what we had on paper. Here's a line drive, base hit into the corner. Already going to dig it out. Abreu going to dig for 2. He doesn't know that kid's got a great arm. Got him.
What a throw.
He knows now.
What a throw.
He rounded first with full confidence that he had a 2-bagger.
Well, you can see him running. Couple of things. Heredia to cut the ball off and not let it get to the corner. And then all the way from the corner, a 1-hop strike into second base. Pretty good.
Brady might not have got to page 3 with left fielder can throw. 2 down. Jerry DePoto was talking about Kuma coming back mid-June as we look at Garcia. Smiley in July, Felix in June. Well done by Guillermo Heredia. Safe to say, Mike, that Mr. Heredia is in a category labeled keeper.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
There's Kuma. Going to get him back. He's thrown out flat ground before the game. Garcia first time up, flying out to right.
We talked about it with the outfield. It's one thing to cover a lot of ground. These guys, the way that they cut even the base hits off to hold them to singles, and all of them can throw. Pretty special.
There's a strikeout that Chris Heston could use. That's a mood lifter. So is that throw by Heredia. 5-0 Sox. Seattle Mariners baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Amtrak Cascades. What a beautiful way to travel. Visit AmtrakCascades.com. By Safeco Insurance, find a local agent at Safeco.com. Do more. By your Northwest Chevy dealer and the new face of strong Chevy Silverado. And by Primera Blue Cross, your hometown health plan for 84 years. Fabulous Sunday. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you're watching. We come to you from Safeco Field in Seattle, Washington. Kyle Seager to lead it off. Seager, Motter, and Gamble 4, 5, and 6 here. And against the veteran left-hander, Derek Holland. Kyle's had a lot of success against Holland. 12 for 43, 2 home runs. Tough series here for him. Guy with 4 home runs and 22 runs batted in.
Mariners offense has been a strong suit for him this year. They scored 5 runs in the first game of this series, but in the last 2 games, just 1 run apiece. So hopefully they can get the offense going again today.
Two balls and 1 strike to Kyle Seager. He's got 4 hits on the homestand. 2 of them are for home runs. Strike 2. Second baseman Sanchez out in right field for Seager. Two. Back the other way, foul. Another good crowd on hand here. Upwards of 36,000 and 33,000 last night. 32 plus on Friday. Little League Day. Proud to wear your home team colors. 2-2. Anderson can't get it. Base hit for Kyle Seager.
Look at Kyle, a little toe tap, inside out swing on a fastball. It's actually in off the plate. To look at as he's fighting to try to get the barrel to it. Slicing line drive right back up the middle. Good speed. To get off of his backside, hit a line drive.
Just joining us, Sox 10 men to the plate in the first inning. Scored 5 times on 4 hits. 2 of the RBIs. Balls might have gone about 40 feet. Tough break, couple of swinging bunts as Taylor Motter takes a strike. Scott Service, Mariners skipper, confident that Motter is now readjusting to the league. He got out of the gate hard. This one up in the air. Cabrera fighting the sun. He's there to make the catch. On away with 1 on here in the second. While the Mariners hit the field, your youngsters can hit the play field. Stop by the Seattle Children's Playfield next time you're here at the ballpark, where kids can enjoy a playground, wishing well, and more. 1 out, 1 on, brings up Ben Gamble. Little Sparky with his glasses, Mariner gear. Strike 1 to Ben. Got 4 hits on the homestand. Went 1 for 3 last night. And he's in an 0-2 hole. Outside.
It'll be tough for the Mariners, especially the left-handed hitters against Holland. huge sample size, but lefty's hitting just 148 against him, and I think it's because of the slider. We showed you the numbers earlier. Pitch that has really improved for him, and so when he's able to run the slider away from the lefties, it's difficult, especially when he has a fastball. It's 91 to 93 miles an hour, and that fastball jamming him.
Oh, Frazier lost it. They'll get the out at second. Fielder's choice.
5-4. And there's nothing that Kyle could do about that.
Absolutely not. May happen to him later on today when this stuff's working.
Yeah, you can see him. He has the flip down glasses, but he didn't flip them down, and he's struggling to see it. And Kyle standing at first base in no man's land.
He missed that by a lot.
Yeah, foot. There's Kyle. There's nowhere for him to go. He can't do anything about it. By then it's too late. Frazier was fortunate the ball stayed right next to him too.
There's Daniel Vogelback. Howard paints a corner, strike one. Vogelback first time up 6 games, went 2 for 14, no homers, 1 run batted in. Goes to Tacoma, 262, 5 homers, 24 runs batted in, and a stolen base. Two pitch. Holland ready. 2 outs, men at first. Pulled foul.
That was the slider on the outside corner. Something that we saw when Daniel was up earlier in the year. He was trying to just pitch him away. If they come inside, it's in off the plate, trying to get him out away.
Could not get the young man to bite. 2-2. To the count now.
And everything away from him.
Gamble takes off. 3-2 pitch. Long foul. Two outs, man at first. 30-year-old Derek Holland pitching to Daniel Vogelback.
Pitch off the plate, but too close to take.
Three-two pitch. That may work. No, it doesn't. Fine play by Yomer Sanchez. Had a good angle on it. Made the play. Runner stranded in the second. 5-0 Sox. Finale of the homestand. White Sox up 5-0. MLB.TV Premium. It's back and better than ever. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live on over 400 supported devices. Plus, get a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions, they do apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Terrific second inning for Chris Heston. Line drive off the bat of Frazier, caught out there by Heredia. One pitch, one out.
Well, you mentioned the second inning faced the minimum after throwing 36 pitches, 16 strikes in the first. He came back and threw 9 pitches, 7 strikes in the second inning, and a quick out here in the third.
Gave up a base hit to Abreu in the second, but he got greedy and was thrown out at second by Heredia. Here's Yolmer Sanchez, base hit to right, yielded 2 runs back in the first. Chris Heston just joining us, the 11th Mariners starter here in 2017.
That's one of the things, Dave, when you think about it, we talked about it during the hot stove this winter. The Mariners last year going through 13 different starters, which was a large number, and here they are already 11, and we're still in May.
May 21st. Remarkable. Did he go? No. Says third base umpire Mark Wegner. Count goes to 3-1. Tim Anderson on deck. Breeze blowing left to right here at Safeco Field. And strike count runs full. Dyson is out in center field. Glasses on. 2 down. Time now for a CenturyLink What's Next. And all along I thought we were going to see Max Scherzer. Apparently that is not the case now. Christian Bergman will go Tuesday. And then Sam Gaviglio against Tanner Roark. And Miranda against Gio Gonzalez.
I think Strasburg was pitching today for him, so they'll miss him. So that's good news for the Mariners.
Originally, Max was listed as one of their starters. But it was for that third game. Anderson, fly ball left field. Guillermo out there, can't get it, gone. Tim Anderson with a home run. The shortstop with his 5th home run, 2nd RBI today, gives him 11 on the season. Sox lead now 6-0.
Trying to go to the outside corner, misses his location with the breaking ball right there on the inner half. And that is barreled up. Towering fly ball. Great effort by Heredia. Just too deep into the bullpen for him to get to it. He's fighting the sun as well.
Give you an idea how far back it went. There you go. Six runs on 6 hits, and the wind blowing left to right didn't deter that one. One to count to Matt Davidson. Base hit to right for an RBI in the first inning. Two outs, nobody on, a run and pitch. 2-2. Chris Heston. Right now, just try not to get it too much farther out of hand here. Ran 2. Catcher Kevin Smith on deck. Breaking ball. Get out of play.
Curveball was well located on the outside corner. 60 pitches. And for Chris Heston, pitching on short rest.
Strike 3 call. Jerry Davis rings up Matt Davidson. Tim Anderson adds another run with a homer. Make it 6-0. Coming up for the Mariners, Tuffy go switch. Gerard Dyson and Gene Segura. This wonderful Sunday here in Seattle. A reminder to get Sounder Train and Link Light Rail tickets right to your phone. Riding is easy with the Transit Go Ticket app. It's a fabulous day. They might sign me up for about a couple, 3 dozen of these.
Oh, that's going to happen for you. It's a shame that we're getting on a plane after the game because the weather over the next week and a half is going to be spectacular.
Tuffy go switch. Looking for his second hit as a Mariner. Eight, 9, and 1 coming up against Derek Holland.
There you go.
There we go indeed. Tuffy go switch with his second hit as a Mariner, leading off the 3rd.
And he gets a fastball that he can handle. Trying to go in on his hands. 92-mile-an-hour fastball ends up in the middle of the plate.
The Mariners, their 3rd hit. They bring up Gerard Dyson. Two for 13 on the homestand. Pitch up high, ball 1.
One for 3 in his career against Holland.
1-1 the count. Slow roller, and they get one there, and they're going to get another double play. That's a second double play today. And then last night they turned 4. Four, 3, 6, 3.
And we'll take a look at it. Sanchez, the second baseman. As soon as Tuffy stopped running, he decided to get the speedy Dyson at first, and then Tuffy stuck in a rundown.
So 2 away. Top of the order, Segura, base hit to left. Working him inside for a strike. Took a lot off of that pitch. Drove it right center field, but it's hanging up there. No problem for Garcia. Holland faces the minimum here in the third at 6-0 Sox. Mariners baseball on Root Sports, brought to you by Virginia Mason Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. By Steel. To find your local Steel dealer, visit steeldealers.com. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by CHI Franciscan Health, the Mariners' official partners in health. Learn to stay Northwest healthy at nwhealthy.org. Beautiful day here in Seattle. Scoreboard not so pretty for the Mariners right now. Trying to change that. See if Chris Heston can post a 0 here in the fourth. Mariners down 6-0. A little late day. Kevin Smith, the catcher, leads off. A swinging bunt. RBI in the first. 10 men to the plate that inning. 5 runs on 4 hits. Home run by Anderson in the third. Smith will be followed by Luis Garcia and Melky Cabrera. Breaking ball. Fair ball into the corner. Smith rounds. Got better speed than Abreu, who was thrown out. Ball also got to the corner this time. Guillermo cut it off the first time. A 2-for-2 day for Kevin Smith. Take a look at the Mariners calendar, brought to you by Mattress Firm. What a big road trip this is. 3 games against the Washington Nationals, first place team in the National League East, coming off a win this afternoon. Then we go to Boston, take on the Red Sox. They're 21-21 entering today. And then Colorado, the first place team in the National League West. 4 games with them. Then we'll come home for a nice homestand. 2 really good homestands in the month of June for the Mariners. Tampa Bay will get it started. Top of the order here, Luis Garcia. His homestands in June: Colorado, Tampa Bay, Minnesota, and Toronto. And then Detroit, Houston, and Philly at the back end. And don't forget, with Toronto coming in, Mariner fans get those tickets for that weekend series. If you don't, the Canadian fans will.
Looking at that road trip, some really good offensive clubs.
I'll say
Washington first in hitting.
Right.
The Rockies are sixth in hitting.
That all?
Boston
right?
is third.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's going to test your pitching and the depth of it.
I was really surprised to see Colorado sixth. It seems like when I catch some of the highlights, everybody's just gapping and just hitting the ball out of the ballpark. And it's crazy.
I would agree with you.
And we saw that in spring training. Granted, it was spring training, but the team hitting hasn't been a problem with them. It's pitching, and pitching clearly has improved. They have those guys 10 games over 500. Look out.
In first place in the National League West. Washington first place in the National League East. Boston right at 500, 21-21.
Garcia 0 for 2. Had to leave Thursday's game after a couple of at-bats. He got hit on the left elbow. 1-0 for 2 in that contest. Chris Heston, 29 years old, out of Palm Bay, Florida. At Tacoma, 2-1 this season. Just one game with the Mariners back on April 25th in Detroit.
We talked about him pitching on short rest. 36 pitches in the first, now 70 total for the ball game. And Dan Altavella getting loose in the pen for the Mariners. There's Dan. Chris may be reaching his limit.
When we last saw Dan, that was the 19-9 loss at Detroit. Good news is that the Mariners came back and won the next 3 games there. 3-2 pitch and lost it. 4th walk, and the 3 previous walks have scored. First and second, nobody out here in the 4th. Elkie Cabral, walk, run scored first inning. Second inning, rounded out to Taylor Motter, second baseman. Bouncing ball, Vogelback had it, lost it. Everybody safe. E3.
Daniel gets there in pretty good shape right off the end of his glove, and then he can't find it. Almost twisted his ankle stepping on it.
That will load him up, and here comes Scott Service. That'll do it for Chris Heston. We'll step aside. Sox threatening again. called to the pen. And that's going to bring us Dan Altavilla.
This will be his 16th appearance. He's had his struggles at times with command. The reason why his ERA just under 7 for Dan, but 18 strikeouts in 13 innings. Good number for him. Too many walks with 8. Good fastball, 95 or better. Hard slider.
Well, they got him loaded up here in the 4th. Kevin Smith, the catcher's at 3rd. Luis Garcia, the center fielder, he's at 2nd, and Melky Cabrera, the left fielder, he's at 1st. And a very tough hitter here in Jose Abreu. 8 homers, all on the road. Walked and scored in the 1st inning. Singled to left in the 2nd. Got greedy and was thrown out by Heredia. A nice throw. One dangerous hitter. 2 for 5 last night. Long home run upper deck. 6th inning on Friday. Upper deck left field. World of trouble here. Nobody out. Abreu 0 for 2 against Altavilla. Ball 1.
And Dan has a good fastball today, 98 miles an hour.
Comes the 1-1 pitch. Up the middle. Motter takes him to the bag. That's 1. There's 2. Run scores. 7-0 Chicago. With the force on Cabrera. Turn a double play. One thing they desperately needed was some outs. They get 2 right there. Another run for the Sox.
No RBI. White Sox 4 for 8 now in the game, hitting with runners in scoring position.
Leading hitter in the American League, Avisail Garcia. He did go, says Jerry Davis.
Good slider right off the outside corner. Gets him to chase it.
Tight, missed. Look out, Darryl Boston, first base coach. For the ball girl retrieve it. The ball boy startled Jerry Davis.
Saw that too.
Jerry's looking left and came up on the right. 1-2 pitch. That's a foul ball, matter of inches.
And consistently at 98 miles an hour today. Seen a good slider from him. Last fastball looked as if it jammed him.
Need an out. 1-2 pitch. 2 outs. Runner at 3rd. Blocked by Tuffy. Tuffy with a base hit in his first at bat today. One of 3 Mariner hits early on in this contest. Two-two pitch from Altavilla. Mile high pop. Who's going to take it? Seager calls everybody off. Going to do it. A run on the hit, and there and a man left. Home fourth coming up. Sox lead it 7-0. Seven-0 White Sox in this finale here at Safeco Field. And hey, just like the Mariners, our youngest fans can swing for the fences. That's because on Sunday, June 4th, all kids 14 and under will pick up a playground bat and a ball set as part of Aquafina Little League Day at Safeco Field. Visit Mariners.com for tickets. Today is the first Little League Day. Great crowd on hand. Nice breezy day. Breeze coming in off of Elliott Bay, coming in off the left field foul pole. The story right now, I'm going to put a smile on that kid's face. See if the Mariners can get some runs. They're down 7-0, 5 in the first, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth for Chicago. Mariners no runs on 3 hits and an error. 2, 3, and 4 coming up. Heredia, Cruz, and Seager against Derek Holland. Heredia first time bounced into a double play. But third base goes foul.
We talked about the slider earlier. Now we'll go to the fastball. Average fastball 91, 92 miles an hour. Opponent's average though 298, almost a 300 batting average, and slugging 512. So if he can get after his fastball, he might be able to do some damage. Maybe that'll be the case for Heredia. He's hitting 370 off of left-handed pitching this year.
I think one of the big reasons for the success of Heredia, his knowledge of the strike zone this year is outstanding. Push bunt, can't get it past Holland. His success built a lot on that. He's just going after good pitches.
He's typically aggressive in the strike zone. Right here trying to bunt his way on. Tried a couple of times. First when he tried to drag it down the third baseline. That one wanted to push it past the pitcher. Wasn't able to make that happen, so an easy out for Holland.
There's Nelly. Glide out to right. Mariner hits today. Segura, Seager, and Goswitch to this point. One.
Good curveball.
Two and one.
Holland has definitely changed the way that he goes about his business. All the years we've seen him in Texas throwing a lot of fastballs, had a good fastball. He was 93 to 95 miles an hour.
Up, down, in, out now. I'm not worried about the velo.
And mixing it up even more. This year his fastball percentage right about 46%. Last year it was at 61%. Throwing his curveball more often, his changeup more, even his slider.
2-2. Into the dugout. We go to our nation's capital, beginning series on Tuesday. We'll have Robbie Cano back in the lineup. Looking forward to that. 2-2. And Elliott fouls into the glove of Kevin Smith. Strikeout number 1 for Derek Holland. 2 outs.
Borderline fastball right at the top of the strike zone, too close to take, tough to hit.
Just joining us, Sox put 5 on the board first inning. Bottom of the order has done all the damage. Hitters 6 through 9. They've driven in and or scored all the runs. Well, they haven't scored all the runs, but they've driven the majority of them in. 2 RBIs for Sanchez, batting 6th. 7-hole hitter Anderson's driven in 2. Davidson, batting 8th, has driven in a run. Smith has driven in a run and scored 1. Seager last time up. Base hit center field.
Solid line drive, base hit on a fastball that was on the inside corner. Inside out swing, but was able to get the barrel to it. Drive it back up the middle. Like to have that curveball back.
It's right there.
Yeah, 79 miles an hour right out over the plate for him.
Two and 2. Got him looking. Second strikeout for Holland. He goes 1, 2, 3 in the 4th. Owner of a 7-0 lead. 7-0 White Sox. Finale of this homestand. Mariners will be moving on to our nation's capital. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. I bet those folks have been waiting a long time to do that. Good for them. Enjoy the weather. And Altavilla continues on here. Chris Heston started. Was relieved in the fourth. There's Todd Frazier, Yolmer Sanchez, and Tim Anderson. Frazier walk, a run scored, and lined out to left.
Dan came into the game last inning, bases loaded, nobody out. Able to get a double play ball. Pop up to third to get out of the inning. Gave up the one run for Heston.
Swing and a miss. Heston, 3 innings of 7 hits, 7 runs, all earned, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts, and 1 home run. One, 2 to Frazier.
Danny's throwing hard today. Last inning he was at 98. That last fastball at 99 miles an hour, so he's feeling pretty good.
Frazier 2 for 5, 2 runs batted in last night's game. Danny with a 2-2. Foul back. Try it again here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Full count. People dabbing, saying hello. Enjoying the blue sky and the sunshine here at Safeco Field this Sunday afternoon. Too much noise for that one kid. Look at him put his hands over his ears. 3-2 pitch. And Todd Frazier works a walk to lead it off in the 5th. It's going to bring up Yolmer Sanchez, switch hitting second baseman. 2-run single in the first, flied out to center in the 3rd. Sox come in 19-22, 3.5 behind first place Minnesota in the Central Division. They're going to start for the Twins. Cleveland right there as well. And gets past Tuffy.
Like a wild pitch.
That's the official ruling. Frazier to second. 1-0. They count to Sanchez. Seven runs on 7 hits for the White Sox. Ground ball. Taylor Motter. Sanchez gets the job done, moves a runner to 3rd, 1 out.
White Sox are 4 for 10 runners in scoring position.
Brings up Tim Anderson. He's having a good day. Swinging bunt, an RBI in the 1st and a home run. Left field, 3rd inning. Infield comes up close and bouncing ball. Seager holds Frazier, throws over, gets Anderson, 2 down. Watch Kyle turn around and watch the replay on the big board. Did you do that? Make a play and
it would depend on the play, but yeah, you see guys do it all the time, and you don't always make the replay, but if you get a chance to look at it, why not? For Kyle, he was probably checking to see what Frazier ended up doing at third.
Make some self-corrections when you watch that sometimes.
Not in game. I think more just trying to get some information. Look at this.
It's been like this all day.
Yeah, it has. Broken bat right off the hands.
Second RBI for Davidson, scoring as Frazier.
We'll take a look at it. Good fastball in off the plate, on his hands, breaks his bat, and it turns into a base hit. Be a tough game at times. Feel like you do everything right and you don't get the results you want.
Another RBI for bottom half of the order. Driven in 7 of the 8 runs. The other one scored on a double play. Here's Kevin Smith. Bleeder again. Motter hanging with it. And he got him. Never quit on it. Well done. Sox had another run. RBI single by Matt Davidson to make it 8-0. Nothing White Sox in this beautiful Sunday in Seattle. Dave Sims, Mike Flowers with you. Bill Kruger joins us right now, a Chicago-born lad, and over the years, White Sox seem to they play second fiddle to the Cubbies, even though the Cubbies hadn't been winning at all until this past season. But what's the lot of the White Sox been like, in spite of the fact that they won in 05?
It's a great question, because they've probably had more recent success where the Cubs have had long drought. But I don't feel too badly for him, because I grew up on the north side, so of course I was a Cub fan. I mean, you can't be both. You're one, and if the other guy isn't, then he's an enemy. And when we were growing up as kids, we didn't like the kids that like the White Sox, so that's just how it rolls. And who would like the White Sox? The Cubs had all the hitting stars. That's who I like. So, but yeah, it's an interesting situation. The Sox, they rebuild their ballpark. They're on the south side. The park isn't really super friendly, but there's just something magic about the Cubs that's allowed them to just continue to be so unbelievably popular. It's hard to put your finger on it, and they've stayed with them for so very long.
So Bill, does this mean that you're not a fan of Rick Riz? Rick Riz is a big White Sox fan. Louis Aparicio is his guy, you know.
Yeah, well, that obviously, if we grew up, it'd be a problem. He'd have to be on the other side of the team, and I'd be asking him questions why you like the boring White Sox. All they have is pitching.
Who was your guy or guys growing up on those Cubs teams?
Well, I was really just the golden age of Chicago baseball, because all the starting lineup, they all stayed together my whole childhood. Of course, Ernie Banks in the middle, Ron Santo, Billy Williams was my hero. I met him when I was 7 years old.
Nice,
he
man.
came to my town, and not very many people showed up because he wasn't a big star yet, and he treated me with unbelievable care, and made me feel like $1 million, and he became my hero. And strangely enough, he's believe this or not, the first guy I met when I walked into the hotel when I got called up to the big leagues was Billy Williams, because he's the hitting coach of the Oakland A's.
No kidding.
How about that?
That's beautiful.
And he was just as great a guy as when I met him when I was 7.
Yeah,
of course, he tells everybody I was 13 or 14 or 15, but
hey,
that's his story.
You know what? I growing up in Philly and watching the Cubs, sweet swinging Billy Williams. I mean, you talk about being right on the money.
Yeah, I wanted to hit like him. I wanted to have the hands in the same position. He had that little hitch, and of course, didn't carry me quite as far offensively, Mike. But nonetheless, I had my dreams in my backyard. Of course, I imitated everybody in the lineup, right-handed or left-handed, right?
I had a pretty good curveball with a wiffle ball too, Bill.
That's about right.
Get force out on Motter. Bill, thanks a lot. Always good to talk a little Chicago baseball.
Thanks.
All right, Bill Krueger going to join us on the post-game show presented by Alaska Airlines. 1 out.
Bill is actually a pretty good hitter too. Good athlete all the way around. Good basketball player.
400 career hitter.
Yeah. Good athlete.
Here's Vogelback. Soft liner caught by Sanchez, the second baseman. Tell you what, they have impressed us. Talking about Sanchez and Anderson, nice combo up the middle.
Yeah, I agree with that. And Anderson, we've seen him a little bit, and he obviously has a lot of range, but he has a better throwing arm than I thought. You've seen that in this series.
And nifty around the bag. He, kept himself from getting hurt out there. Former high school basketball player. We're telling that story the other day. Broke a leg on a dunk back in high school and turned to baseball, and a buddy of his was at a junior college and said, hey, I got this friend of mine, and the coach looked him up, offered him a deal, played community college baseball, worked his way up, and here he is in the bigs, a bright young star here for the White Sox. That one deflect off the glove. There's nobody covering third, so the Mariners in good shape here as Gamble had his head up. He's against the shift. That'll be a base hit. Runners at the corners here. Vogelback gets a knock. It's his third up here in the big leagues with the Mariners this year.
And that pulls the ball to the right side. Abreu trying to get to it off the end of his glove, deflects it away from the second baseman Sanchez, who was standing right there. It would have been an easy play for him. So a good break for the Mariners. And Vogelback, for that ball to end up in the outfield. Base hit for him.
Runners at the corners, 1 out for Tuffy Goswitch. Got a base hit, his second of the season. That was in the third. Vogelback, it's his 4th big league hit. Four hits on the afternoon for the Mariners. Trying to get on the board here. 1 out. Bottom 5, down 8-0. Right off the mask of the catcher, Kevin Smith. Yeah, check that jawbone. He's still working. Always up right around the ear. Make sure that joint doesn't come out. 0-2. Bouncing ball to Anderson. There's 1, and there's yet another double play turn by the Sox. 3 this afternoon. They turned 4 last night. 8-0 Chicago. difference in the game. Sights and sounds of the first inning. The White Sox, they scored 5 runs on 4 hits. 10 men come to the plate. Tough inning for Chris Heston, who goes 3 innings of 7 hits, 7-run ball, all earned.
Yeah, the first was a tough one. Yeah, 3 walks inning, 4 base hits, 4 hits in a row. As the White Sox will score 5 runs in the inning. So back-to-back games, 4 runs in the first yesterday and 5 here this afternoon.
New pitcher on the mound for the Mariners. Make another call to the bullpen. Brings in their power, left-hander James Pazos. Pazos follows Dan Altavilla.
This will be his 18th appearance. He's pitched well. A 2.41 ERA, 25 strikeouts in 18 2/3. Opponents hitting just .217. Fastball mid to upper 90s and a hard slider for him.
He will face the top of the order. Yuri Garcia, switch hitter. 0 for 2 with a walk. Ball 1 to Garcia. And outside again, 2-0. Altavilla goes 2 innings, 1 hit, a run that was earned, 1 walk. Two-0 here from Pazos. Slash foul. Two-one pitch. Garcia to be followed by Melky Cabrera and Jose Abreu. Top of the order here in the 6th for Chicago. White Sox take off for Arizona. This game's over. 2-2 pitch. Pazos coming over from the Yankee organization. Very impressive in the spring. Always had the good fastball. Secondary stuff started working a lot better. Fouled off again.
And Pazos has a good fastball. We saw Dan Altavilla topping out at 99. That last fastball at 97. And amazing what happens when the guys out in the bullpen get a little bit of rest. Starting pitching has been an issue for the guys in the pen, being overworked. But the homestand, the younger guys have really pitched well. Miranda was terrific earlier in the homestand.
Wasn't he?
Yeah.
Something to build on there. Well, this is what, 3rd win, right?
7 innings, 4 hits, just the 1 earned run. He had 9 strikeouts, which is a career high for him. The 1 run was a solo home run. He threw 100 pitches, so the bullpen with a day off there. That was good to see. Bergman, of course, pitched well.
Gavilio gave him 5 good innings.
Yep.
Pazos throws wide. Vogelback was able to maintain. There's 1 away here in the 6th. Catch Washington's top high school baseball teams in the state baseball championship. It's going on next Saturday and Sunday here at Safeco Field. Tickets will be available day of game at the Safeco Field box office. Brings up Melky Cabrera. Good to see singer, songwriter, author Billy Mack up in the booth here earlier. Wrote a new bio on Dave Niehaus. Good to see him.
My, oh my.
It had to be called nothing else, right?
Exactly.
Base hit for Cabrera. His first of the afternoon.
Great picture on the front of the book, too, Dave.
Melky Cabrera, one out base hit, brings up Jose Abreu. Walking run scored, base hit to left in the second. Already throwing him out, trying to stretch, bounced into a double play in the fourth. Part of your story here today, Mike, the Mariner pitcher. They've walked 5 men, 4 have scored.
That typically doesn't work out well for you. 3 of those walks in the first inning.
Sox have turned 3 double plays. Mariners 1 so far today. 1-1. Slim down Jose Abreu. Pretty good start. 274 starting today at 8 home runs. 23 runs batted in. Segura and moderate double play depth up the middle for the Mariners. 1-2 here to Abreu. Not holding Melky on. That's out of play. So next stop, Washington, D.C. Originally on Thursday we were going to see Max Scherzer. Waiting to find out why he was pulled out of that starting assignment. Wind is picked up. Long hard left to right. 1-2. Tough, he can't find it. It's up the line. Cabrera will hold right there.
Well, that went off of his shin guard. At first I thought maybe it hit Abreu. That'll be a wild pitch.
1 out now, runner at second. And a 2-2 count to Abreu with Avisail Garcia. And all the pennants. You're able to read them pretty easily here today with that win. Tuffy going out. Quick word with Pazos. Over the signs, runner at second, 1 out. Here we go, 2-2. Long foul again.
Good battle. This will be the 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up. Pazos so far 16 pitches in the inning, 10 strikes.
Here comes a 2-2. Eight runs on 9 hits for the White Sox. No runs, 4 hits and an error for the Mariners. And those hits have been scattered. They've not had multi-hit inning. Two and two. Swing and a miss. Chased high heat, came up empty.
Really good to see James win that battle. 8 pitches to get the strikeout. But he's able to put away a pretty good hitter. Elevated fastball up out of the strike zone, gets him to chase it.
But it doesn't get long to breathe easy because you have Avisail Garcia coming up. And he started the day, and now there's pinch hitters. Willie Garcia is going to stand in. Willie last night, 7th inning, got his first big league homer, and then got the silent treatment from his teammates in the dugout. Oh, 2. Two outs, runner at second, 0-2 count. Ball 1. One-two pitch here to Willie Garcia. Took a lot off, strikes him out. That'll do it. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left. We go to the home 6th. 8-0 White Sox.
From the Ford Sports Desk, how about a little hashtag Where I Root, presented by Alaska Airlines. Couple of good photos here. Hey, I know where Jen is, and I know she's having a really good time with her husband and family. We miss you, Jen. We'll see you soon. And Tim Williams from his man cave in Post Falls, Idaho, has got the gear rocking on this Sunday. Back upstairs to Dave and Mike.
Tom, thanks so much. Here's Gerard Dyson will lead it off. Shows bunt, takes a ball from Derek Holland, who has had tremendous offensive support today. Dyson 0 for 1, bounced into a double play, back into third. Dyson now 1 for 4 against Holland.
Todd Frazier playing in on the grass at third.
Strike 2, Gerard. He disagrees with Jerry Davis's call. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Holland, 30 years old, Newark, Ohio, is home. Lives in Irving, Texas. 25th round pick of the Rangers back in June of '06. 2-2. Melky Cabrera in left field, hugging that line, and shallow center fielder Yuri Garcia hard to his right as well.
Holland was pitching him that way, everything away from Dyson. Get him out on the outside corner, including that last pitch, good fastball from him.
2-2. The full count. Dyson followed by Segura and Heredia. 9-1-2 for the Mariners here in the 6th. 1 run last night. That came in the 6th inning. And Dyson's aboard. RBI ground out from Segura last night in the 6th for the only run. Second walk issued by Holland.
And that will turn the lineup over. Gene Segura, 1 for 2 today. Had a base hit in the 1st inning. Also flew out to right.
Segura spent a lot of the last week and change, #1 hitter in the league. Dropped down to 5 after last night as he hits this one right field, and a catch made out there by Willie Garcia. Wow, strong arm. Next up, Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. CenturyLink brings you what's next. Christian Bergman looking for his 2nd win. Find out about the Nationals hurler before long. Sam Gaviglio coming off a strong 5-inning performance. Tanner Roark, see him, and then Ariel Miranda takes on Gio Gonzalez in the spot vacated by Max Scherzer. Ready, right to Frazier. Another double play. Good grief. That's the 4th one turned by the White Sox. Here at Safeco Field, time now for the Big Fish Casino Big Catch. And it's a nice play by Taylor Motter. Didn't give up on a play that ended inning number 5 for the Sox. Might have produced another run, but stayed with it. Good athletic play. It's retired Kevin Smith, the catcher. Cishek takes over.
This will be his 3rd appearance. He started a little bit stronger, get his velocity back. Recently coming off the disabled list.
great weather day, a good socializing day, even though the score does not read well for the Mariners at the moment. Good house here today, 35,000 plus. We'll get to that number coming up before long. Mariners in a scoring drought right now against the Sox. 2 runs over the last 25 innings. Here's Todd Frazier to lead things off against Cishek. Frazier's walked twice, scored twice, also lined out to left. Strike 2. Frazier 2 for 7. Carrying on a dialogue with Jerry Davis. 2 for 7 against Cishek. And 2. Holding big time. It's 3 consecutive strikeouts of Chicago hitters by Mariner pitching. First K here for Cishek.
And a good slider, had some bite to it right on the outside corner at the knees. Weak swing from Frazier. Steve so far is fastball at 90 miles an hour, so that's a good sign for him. Building up arm strength.
Sanchez gets to the strike. Cishek back from the play from surgery. Thought it was going to be a simple operation. Talking to him the other day, so he came out and was in recovery. Woke up and the surgeon said, "Well, we had to do a little bit more than we originally thought." Gee, Doc, thanks. Everything good? Yeah, it's good, but it'll take a little bit more time for you. He has battled through. Two. Cishek always works at a brisk pace. 2-2 to Sanchez. No. Count runs full. Guillermo taking a look, has no play.
A good fastball at 91 miles an hour.
Pitch to Sanchez. Broken back looper, but plenty of speed for Heredia. Comes in as he played for him. 2 outs. Join us Sunday, June 4th, Yoga Day. It's presented by CHI Franciscan Health for $50. You're going to receive a ticket to the game, a yoga mat, and carrying bag. Plus, you can enjoy a post-game afternoon yoga session on the field. Special ticket offers available only at mariners.com/yoga. Chair network, position number 1. Want to see Mike Blowers down there.
Not going to happen.
Come on, your wife would love that. Stretch things out a little bit.
She would enjoy it. And if she would like to go down there and participate, she can.
I'm representing Mike Blowers here. One to Tim Anderson. He's had a good day. Knocked in 2. Had 2 hits, including a home run, 3rd inning, a solo shot.
Another good slider. In his first outing, his fastball was 88, 89. See 90, 91 here this afternoon. A little more bite to the slider. All good signs.
Way outside. 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Ground ball through the hole, base hit. 3rd knock today for Tim Anderson.
He's down in the middle of the plate. Drives it through the left side of the infield.
Tenth hit for Chicago. Brings up Matt Davidson. 2 for 3. Knocked in 2 runs. Got a broken bat single and RBI in the 5th. Ahead here, 1-2. 2 out, man aboard. 7th inning. Zipchinski heating up for the Mariners. 2-2 pitch.
Imagine Steve just coming off the disabled list. He's now at 20 pitches for the inning. 20 pitches, 12 strikes for him.
Looking batter. Ricochet to Todd Frazier. Flips it to a fan. Little kid. Nice job. A piece of lumber for Davidson. He's built a little bit like Paul Konerko. It was a nightmare for years for the Mariners. White Sox first baseman DH. 3-2 is the count.
Konerko, I'm not sure we made it through too many series without him hitting at least one home run.
You got that right, especially in Chicago.
Yeah.
3-2, runner goes. Pitch swung on and missed. Steve Cishek, a couple of strikeouts here in the 7th inning. A runner stranded. Mariners just 2 runs in the last 25 innings. Maybe they break through here. Coming up as we stick around here for God Bless America.
Fans, before we sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" here on this Sunday afternoon, we ask that you please rise and direct your attention to the area behind home plate. Presenting God Bless America, please welcome Tess Altaveros of Seattle.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home.
Then take me out with the crowd to play Washington's lottery play today. Glorious Sunday afternoon here at Seattle, Washington. Glad you're with us here at Safeco Field on Root Sports. Dave Sims, Mike Flowers, Root Sports crew. Hey, Mike, what do you say? 2 runs, last 25 innings. Let's end this thing. Come on.
We've concentrated on the pitching because it's been a struggle, but you're right. The offense hasn't done much either, so only score a few runs here towards the end of the game.
Cruz, Seager, and Motter here in the home 7th. Derek Holland has not been pressured much at all. He's walked 2. He's had 4 double plays turned behind him. Scattered 4 hits in front of this crowd of 36,782. Drops in an off-speed pitch.
I'm talking about the offense and their struggles. This is the first time it seems in quite a while. Nelson Cruz batting average at 299.
Yep, been quiet.
Under 300.
Well, he started the day number 10 in the league and hitting at 303. Ellie today, fly to right. Got a strikeout at the hands of Holland. Fly ball left field. Melky going back. Say goodbye. Boom. Stick, baby. Home run for Nelson Cruz. Number 11. RBI number 37. He's so strong it didn't have the sound we're used to. That was just an oh by the way for Nelly. Bears on the board.
And that will get his batting average back up over 300.
Sounds like he got it off the middle of the bat.
Take a look at it. Breaking ball. Yeah, it's more towards the label. And he just missed the pine tar on his bat, but puts it into the bullpen. Yeah.
Remarkable.
37 RBIs.
Seager skies one center field. Yuri Garcia out number 1. Nelly, the leading RBI man in the American League with 37. He wanted that shutout. A run in, 1 out. Taylor Motter. 0 for 1 with a walk. Infield straight up for Motter. Outfield swung around a little bit to the left. 1-1 pitch. Outside ball 2.
For Holland, 83 pitches, 55 strikes, and we've seen him use all of his pitches today, moving his fastball around. The last pitch, a changeup. Another changeup. Also used his slider and his curveball. Hasn't fallen in any patterns today.
Good count here for Motter, 3-1. Marner down to Anderson. 2 outs.
Casey Lawrence. Zepchinski.
Two outs. Brings up Ben Gamble. He is 0 for 2. Holland pitching in the 7th inning. The second time. Here's the ball up the middle. Base hit for Ben Gamble. Longest outing for Holland. He went 6 2/3 in Kansas City on May 4th.
First base hit of the afternoon for Ben.
Brings up Daniel Vogelback, called up today. Mike Freeman sent back to Tacoma. Danny Valencia has a sore wrist. Campbell takes off for second. That'll be indifference. Vogelback, a soft liner, and then an infield hit. Two outs, Gamble at second. Home run by Cruz, leading off this inning. 1-1. Here to Vogelback. Bounced up to a nice block, Kevin Smith. 2 balls, 1 strike. Vogelback at Tacoma, 262, 5 homers, 24 runs batted in.
The score at 8-1, 2-1 count. I think Holland wants to walk him. Probably get a fastball. It'll be away if he throws him the fastball.
Tough to go, switch on deck. 2-1 pitch here.
With a slider.
3-1.
3 breaking balls in a row. A bit surprising.
Three-one pitch. Full count.
Holland still has a good fastball. 92 miles an hour right on the outside corner. Basically where his fastball has been today. 90 to 93.
2 outs. 3-2 pitch here to Vogelback. Strike 3 called. Inning over. To the 8th inning we go. Cruz with a home run, the highlight of the 7th. Mariners on the board as Derek Holland has pitched the deepest he's gone in any game this season.
From the Forward Sports Desk, digging a little bit deeper into the M's offensive struggles. First 34 games of the season, they averaged 5.2 runs per game. Last 11 games, including today, the 1 run, 2.7. The highest scoring team in baseball. The M's will see him starting on Tuesday. The Nationals check in at 5.79 runs per game. How about a little hashtag where I root? Meredith, family day at the ballpark. No complaints. They have the sunscreen ready. They're enjoying the weather, no doubt about it. The bright side of what we're seeing today. And Jessica, oh, look at that. AJ's first Mariners game. Looks like they're having a great time. Let's send it back upstairs to Dave and Mike. We got a lot of letters checking into the ball game.
Yes, indeed. Scrabble himself, Mike Zipchinski. Good to have him in the ball game here today in the 8th inning. He's got 9, 1, and 2 in the order. Mark's had a nice run this year.
Well, that's a good sinking fastball. It'll be 92 miles an hour and a slider to go with it. 1.62 ERA for him. This will be his 18th appearance on the year.
First batter's the catcher, Kevin Smith. Infield RBI single in the first, a double and a run scored in the fourth, and a ground out in the fifth. 1-1 pitch. Broken bat ground ball. Segura takes care. Good speed by Kevin Smith. Impressive. 1 down. Jimi Hendrix, Pearl Jam, Nirvana, and more will headline the soundtrack for Sounds of Seattle Fireworks Night, presented by T-Mobile on Friday, June 2nd. That's going to follow the Mariners game, and fans will enjoy a great fireworks show. So get ready to rock. And get ready to rock. Buy your tickets. Go get them right now. Mariners.com. Got to include Jimi Hendrix. Saw him at the Spectrum in Philly, 1969, right after I got my driver's license. 2 outs. Thought that was pretty cool. Get the driver's license. What are you doing? I'm going out to see Hendrix. That wasn't bad.
Did you go by yourself?
Oh heck no! I had somebody. I had a Ford Galaxy 500 full of the gang. A bunch of us went down. And I know that if you remember those 1966, Bubba would know this, Ford Galaxy 500, it could carry about 8.
That's what I was going to guess. 8.
And my mother trusted me. Everybody got back safely. No dents.
Everybody pitch in for gas.
Correct.
Yeah.
Wasn't that long a drive. You Hendrix fans out there, my goodness, what a show. That would have been a few months before his Bravo performance at Woodstock. Gregory Infante heating up.
Saw him last night. Good fastball in the upper 90s.
The Milkman is ahead in the count, 3-0. Melky Cabrera. 8 runs on 10 hits for the Sox. A run on 6 with an error for the Mariners. Walked it. And popping out of the dugout is Scott Service, so he wants a right-hander to face Jose Abreu. 2 outs, 1 on here in the 8th. Take a break. Mr. Lawrence will take over as we step aside. Baseball on Root Sports, brought to you by Jack in the Box. Try the Double Jack Combo for just $4.99 only at Jack in the Box. By BNSF Railway, sponsor of the BNSF Blast. By CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. And by Money Tree, proud to make a donation to Mariners Care for every Mariners win. Good day to be out on the water here in Seattle. Just gorgeous. Breeze is very pleasant today. It blows across left to right here at Safeco Field. Ferries working hard as usual. Dave Sims, Mike Flowers, Root Sports crew here. White Sox jumped on the Mariners in the first inning with a 5 spot. The Mariners have been trailing ever since.
Casey Lawrence going to take over in his 6th appearance. 15 1/3, 9 strikeouts, 11 walks. Fastball right around 91 miles an hour, has a slider and a changeup to go with it.
He's got Jose Abreu. Jose 0 for 1 against him. Casey released last weekend by the Blue Jays and picked up by the Mariners. Fifth man out of the pen this afternoon. Dyson's got plenty of room, shielding the sun. He's got sunglasses on. And that will do it. Nice job by Lawrence. Couple of pitches, an easy out. Bottom 8, time starting to run short here. 8-9-1 coming up for the Mariners in this 8-1 Chicago lead. Eight-1 lead for the Sox. Bottom 8 here at Safeco Field. Make your voice heard. Nominate your favorite plays of the week by tweeting us using the hashtag RootFanFave. Each month, one lucky fan's going to win a Coors Light mini fridge just for participating. For official rules, visit rootsports.com. Deepest foray into a game for Derek Holland as he pitches the 8th here. He's got 8-9-1 in the order. He's given up a run on 6 hits. Struck out 3, walked 2. Go switch, single and bounced into one of those double plays. 4 double plays behind Derek Holland. Duffy lines one foul.
Holland now at 95 pitches, 62 strikes. Been working ahead all afternoon. 26 batters, 18 first pitch strikes for him. Season high is 102 pitches. He's done that a couple of times.
Off-speed pitch at 77 for a strike, 1 and 2. Only run for the Mariners. Leadoff homer, 7th inning. Nelson Cruz, his 11th, RBI number 37. He's the RBI leader in the American League.
a good breaking ball all afternoon, whether it's his curveball or his slider. Both terrific pitches for him.
Fourth strikeout. One away. Do a little scoreboard watching here. Angels won at the Mets 12-5. Oakland trails at home to Boston 6-3. Texas and Detroit coming up in about an hour and a half. Yankees 3-2 winners at Tampa Bay. Cleveland 8-6 at Houston, a final. It gives them what, 2 out of 3 down there. Rod Dyson, a hitter. Two and one to Dyson. Bounced into a double play, third inning. Fourth inning walked. He was in the middle of a double. He was in a double play, ending that inning. 2-1 here.
Well, we have the right-hander ready to go in the pen. Infante, he's been getting these for a while now. Again, hard thrower. He was in the upper 90s last night.
Every bit. One out, nobody on. 2-2 here to Dyson. Swing and a miss. Team we're going to see next, the Washington Nationals, winning at Atlanta 3-2. And here's a look at the matchups for that series, which begins Tuesday. Century Link bringing you what's next. Christian Bergman. We'll find out later who goes for Dusty Baker's ball club. Then Sam Gaviglio against Tanner Roark and Ariel Miranda against Gio Gonzalez.
No Scherzer, no Strasburg.
Strasburg went today. He goes to 5-1 with a 3.28.
Saw a little bit of that today. He looked like he was throwing hard, feeling pretty good. It's good that the Mariners miss him.
FP Santangelo, who does color, Bob Carpenter, was saying that everything, like you said, name a pitch, where do you want it?
Right.
And was working it good for him.
Yeah, terrific breaking ball. New season high, 103 pitches for Holland.
He's done a lot of good things here today, and the fact that he comes out onto the mound, he's up 5-0, so that relaxes him a little bit right there.
And we talked about that last night, David. It's a great point, and I think that you're absolutely right. The White Sox last night, 4 in the first, 5 in the first today, and it's going to make you more aggressive with your fastball. On the other side, offensively, you want to be patient, right? Because you need base runners, and you're constantly behind. Makes it difficult. And another hitter and a 0-2 count right here.
And then add in 4 double plays.
That helps.
I mean,
28 batters, 20 first pitch strikes.
Right. And last night, 4 double plays by the Sox. Strike 3 called. Strikes out the side. Half a dozen for the game. A dominating performance by Derek Holland and the White Sox. lead at 8-1. Hollins retired in the last 4 men via strikeouts. As we head to the top of the ninth, make sure you stick around after the game to watch a new episode of Mariners All Access. Get exclusive player interviews, behind the scenes footage of Mariners stories you can't find anywhere else. If you missed today's episode, tune in for re-airs throughout the week on Root Sports. For your local programming schedule, visit rootsports.com. Big swing by Willie Garcia. Took over in the 6th. Avisail Garcia, the leading hitter in the league, starting today.
Casey Lawrence on the mound. This will be his 2nd inning of work. Mariners have used 5 relievers this afternoon.
Willie Garcia, first plate appearance, struck out and ended the 6th. 1-2. Didn't go as they check with Pat Hoberg. 2-2. Seager on the attack. Double clutch. Just got him. Robbie Cano's going to be back on Tuesday. That is going to help this offense, which has struggled lately. The only run today, a Nelly Cruz home run, leading off the 7th. Just the 3rd run in 26 innings to that point.
Yeah, we've talked about it a number of times, but Robbie's so important, and it's not just the numbers that he's going to put up, but the length of the lineup once he's in there. It's his overall presence.
Robbie having a real good year. 10th in slugging in the American League. 296, 8 homers, 28 runs batted in.
You can pick up where he left off. He was really swinging the bat well before he went on the DL.
That's right down in Philly. Did a nice job.
He did.
He had Campbell, boy.
The day that he ended up getting hurt, he had 4 or 5 hits that day.
Phillies will be here at the end of June. Cano on Wednesday, May 10th. Yeah, he only went 4 for 5 with 2 runs scored, 3 runs knocked in. And the day before that, he left that game. He went 2 for 3 with a homer and 2 runs batted in.
He was really swinging the bat well. They need him. They need to get him back in the lineup.
Hopefully get Mitch Haniger back in Boston a week from now. Maybe next Friday when that series starts. Felix, Iwakuma, and Smiley all anxiously working their way back. Paxton, you can see him for the homestand that begins with Colorado here. Down goes Frazier. 2nd time. Big slider running away from Cishek, got him with one back in the 7th. Two outs, top 9. Yomer Sanchez 1 for 4 with 2 runs batted in and a run scored. First inning single to right, played at 2. Dyson's there. Here we go. Last licks. Heredia, Cruz, and Seager 2-3-4 coming up for the Mariners, down 8-1.
Beautiful Sunday in Seattle. An ugly day on the diamond for the Mariners so far, trailing 8-1. Their last chance in the bottom of the ninth. Coming up on Mariners postgame, presented by Alaska Airlines. We'll head inside the clubhouse for a reaction from manager Scott Service and his players. Plus, we'll recap all of the action in the American League West and get you ready for the start of an 8-game road trip to Washington, Boston, and Colorado. That's next on Mariners postgame, presented by Alaska Airlines. Terrific day for the former Texas Ranger and having a terrific season so far for the White Sox. Derek Holland, 8 innings, 6 hits, and just 1 earned run. Let's send it upstairs to David Mike.
Tommy, thank you very much. Hard throwing right-hander Gregory Infante takes over.
Just his 4th appearance on the year. Good fastball. It'll be in the mid to upper 90s. Has a slider and a curveball to go with it.
Well, we've seen Derek Holland throw some good games against the Mariners. He's headed for his 13th win. This might have been the best.
I was really impressed with his outing today, just because of the way he's changed, the way that he's gone about his business. He's not back there just throwing fastballs by guys anymore. He's having to move it around. And his fastball today was 90 to 93, but really did a nice job with his breaking ball, both the slider and the curveball, and mixing in his changeup enough. So
nice work.
Yeah, he's made some nice adjustments over the last year, 2 years for him.
Here's Heredia. Is it a strike? Heredia, Cruz, and Seager here in the 9th. Self-defense. 1 out. Nelly. 1-2 pitch leading off the 7th. He muscled one out of here, left center field for home run number 11, RBI number 37. One and 0 to Cruz. Oh, 1 with the breaking ball. One and 2. Fights it off.
Nick Benson getting loose in the pen. Obviously not thinking he's going to get in the game today. Just getting in some work. Mariners have a day off tomorrow. Just take a look at him. Probably didn't want to sit for a couple of days. An easy bullpen for him.
One-two pitch here, Cruz. 2-2. Two-two pitch. Hang up for Abreu. Can he get there? And he does. So 2 away.
He dropped it on the transfer, it looked like. Fans were getting excited about it.
Pat Hoberg pumped his fist about 3 times.
There's the catch. He was trying to take it out of his glove.
No brainer. 2 outs, nobody on, 9th inning. Put the shift on for Seager. Next time the Mariners come home, they'll be facing the Colorado Rockies. After we play 2 there. Road trip starts Tuesday, 3 in Washington, 2 night games and a day game. Night game in Boston, Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon, Memorial Day. Afternoon tilt against Colorado, then a night game. And we'll be back home on May 31. May 31-ish is a hopeful date for James Paxton to be back. Would be nice.
It was great to see him throw a bullpen this morning.
3-0 to Seager. And he's aboard.
Taylor Motter a chance for one more at bat.
Motter for 2 with a walk. Drives this in the center field. And it hangs up. A 2-hand catch by Lurie Garcia ends this contest. The Mariners just 3 runs their last 28 innings. Mike, they got to do some work with Cano coming back.
No, you're absolutely right. We talked about this road trip that is coming up. All very good offensive clubs playing in their home ballpark. So one of the things that you have to do is you have to swing it with him, and it'll be great to have Robbie back in the lineup.
2 hours and 46 minutes for this one. Talk to you from our nation's capital on Tuesday. Right now, Mariners postgame presented by Alaska Airlines starts right now with Brett and Bill.
Dave, Mike, thank you very much. You see the score, 8-1 as the Sox take the last 3 games of the series. They win the series, and the Mariners fall to 3-4 on the just concluded homestand. And Bill, I guess we can say the good news is off day tomorrow.
Yes.
On a very difficult road trip. We'll get to that a little bit later. But the guys were talking about it. With the way the pitching staff is now, the injuries, who's coming up, who's pitching, they've got to score some runs.
Yeah, 3 runs in 3 games, that's not going to get it done. It's a team that was the top of the league offensive club, and it's hit its woes of late. Certainly Robbie's going to help a lot, but it's going to be a collective effort to get it going. And you're going to face some teams that can swing the bat. The Nationals, the top scoring team in baseball, so you better have it going.
And not to mention Fenway and Coors Field.
Right.
Pretty
Not
good
to
hitters
mention.
parks. We mention them maybe later. All right, so Sox take it 8-1, outscoring the Mariners 24-2 over the last 2 games of the set. Chris Heston on the mound gives the Mariners 3 innings, and then it was a 6-inning cover by the bullpen. Everything going the White Sox way the last couple of games. Some infield singles, some loop hits, and then, oh yeah, home runs as well. Tim Anderson leaving the yard. The Sox take it 8-1. We'll talk more about this one and look ahead to that tough 8-game road trip. It's all coming up on Mariners Postgame, presented by Alaska Airlines.